Hello, boys and girls. I hope you've brushed your teeth, you've washed your face, and you're ready for your story. Tonight's story is called The Yard Sale. Andrex and little Ted had recently noticed that their house was very cluttered. There was all sorts of junk and old things that didn't work and old keys that didn't go into old boxes anymore. And they were rather fed up of having so much mess everywhere. "What do we do?" said Andrex. "Woof! Maybe we can make a fire and burn it all," said little Ted. Andrex thought this was a really bad idea because their house was made of wood. And so he told little Ted, "Our house is made of wood. It would burn. Woof!" So little Ted thought. And then he had another idea. "Why don't we have a yard sale?" said little Ted. "Good idea," said Andrex. "Woof, woof! Grrr, grrr." So they gathered up all the stuff they didn't want that was cluttering up their home, and then they got a table outside. They put all of the unwanted stuff on and around the table, and then they put up a sign saying, yard sale today." So they got lots of tags and they wrote prices on them, and then they put the tags on the unwanted stuff. So they had the yard sale. And then Andrex said, "It's so hot. Why don't we get some lemonade?" And then Andrex thought, "We can make a profit out of this. Woof!" So he told little Ted that they should make a lemonade stand as well. So they made a lemonade stand. And soon people came to buy some lemonade. And some people decided to buy some stuff from the yard sale. So it went on and on and on until they were out of lemonade and they were out of stuff to sell for the yard. So Andrex and little Ted decided to end the yard sale there. "Well, that was successful," said Andrex. "Woof, woof!" Little Ted and Andrex decided to count the profits, and in total they made $125 doggy dollars. So Andrex and little Ted decided that they would go down to the bank and put it in. So they got in the car and they went driving down to the bank. Andrex and little Ted were just about to put their money into the bank when Andrex said, "Look!" They saw a shady-looking weasel skulking around the bank. And as they watched, he slowly crept up to the ATM and began levering it open. When it was done and the ATM was levered open, the weasel proceeded to grab suitcases and stuff the money in. Then he stood up, looked around, and ran off. "Quick!" said little Ted. "After him!" Grrr, grrr. So Andrex and little Ted ran after the weasel, who was scurrying along the streets. They ran left and right and left and right, and then Andrex saw in the weasel's pocket a little toy car, which they had been selling at their yard sale. "Look," said Andrex, "that's a car from our yard sale. Woof, woof." Little Ted said, "I don't remember selling that car." Grrr. So they came to the conclusion that the weasel had also stolen the car. Toy car, not the big car. So they ran after him. The weasel went down the back alleys, up the hills, down the hills. Basically, he ran all over the town, and little Ted and Andrex ran after him until they were quite out of breath. Suddenly, they saw the weasel run into a cave. "Woof, woof! The weasel's gone in there," said Andrex. So they ran into the cave, and they caught the weasel stuffing the money into his pillows. Once the weasel saw them, he gave a sharp yelp and bolted. So Andrex and little Ted had to chase after him. They ran left, and they ran right, and they ran left, and they ran right again, until they were quite lost. Andrex and little Ted were in a bit of a pickle yet again. So there was only one thing for them to do: call the police. So Andrex got out his phone and dialed the police number. "Yes," said a voice. "We're lost, and there was a weasel who robbed the bank," said Andrex. "Woof!" Now the policeman who was on the other end didn't believe them, so he said, "Goodbye," and then he hung up. Andrex and little Ted were rather disappointed and annoyed at this particular policeman, so they decided that they would have to get out of this pickle on their own. Suddenly, Andrex saw the glint of a suitcase, and he said, "Follow that suitcase!" Woof! So he ran off, and he dragged little Ted. Suddenly, they emerged on the other end of the island, where little Ted and Andrex had landed in the last story. There was a helicopter floating in the air, and the weasel was about to board it. Andrex said, "Quick, stop that helicopter." Little Ted said, "With what?" Andrex said, "With this," and pulled a rocket launcher out from somewhere. Little Ted was astonished. "How did you get that?" said little Ted. "It's called magic." "Whiff!" said Andrex. So Andrex took aim, and he fired. But he missed. The missile shot past the helicopter and went into the sea. "Na na ni na na, you can't shoot me," said the weasel. "Drat," said little Ted. Andrex decided that to stop the helicopter, he would have to use his phone. So he grabbed his phone and he threw it at the helicopter. Bang! The helicopter rotors hit the phone and exploded. And then the helicopter went down and down and down until it landed on the beach. Now, if you hear explosions and stuff, then the police will probably be there because there are explosions. So the doggy police came running, and then they found Andrex and little Ted holding up the weasel and the briefcase, which was full of pillows. "Those are pillows," said the policeman. "Not money." But Andrex, using his sharp dog teeth, tore open the pillowcase, and lo and behold, there was the missing money. So Andrex and little Ted said, "We found the money." And so that one policeman who had thought they were being crazy felt very awkward about the whole thing. So they got up the weasel and they took him off to prison, and the weasel would be in prison for 10 years or something like that. So Andrex and little Ted decided that was enough adventure for today. So they went back home and they cleared up the yard sale and they cleared up the lemonade, and then they went inside, they went up the stairs, they went into their bedroom, and they went to sleep. The end. Okay, boys and girls, that is the end of the story. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, then that's fine. And I will see you next time. Bye!